get the gang right to the side sex. Leave the fire and the real style stuff. I'm on that grind like we're chasing the stars. From Millmore to Du Valley, we've come so far. Talk about legends, yeah, we know the score. Ronnie and Bobby, we remember you more. From the highs of the Wembley fight to losing our trousers, still we ignite. Red and white with the pride, we're never gonna bow. Fighting like middlemen, hear the roar now. We're middlemen, we stand up tall. Through ups and downs, we give it all. From Millmore to Du Valley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to KB Terrace Talk, and welcome to the Sunday Service Football Edition. Tonight we have got an action-packed show. We'd like to firstly apologise for last Sunday's show. It got all scheduled and everything, and then some technical difficulties arose, and unfortunately the show could not go ahead. But we're back this week. We're all ready and rearing to go, and we're all ready to talk about everything from the 4 English football leagues. Tonight, I've got 2 fantastic pundits with me. I've got Coventry Mark next to me. How are we doing, Mark?
Hi, not bad. Yourself?
Absolutely fantastic. Did you have a nice Christmas?
Lovely Christmas, thank you. And yourself?
Yes, it was very nice, very relaxed. Plenty of these, and yeah, just a generally a nice time. And below me, I have the man, the myth, the legend that is Turbo Tom. How are we doing, Tom?
Carpet!
Hey, he's got his microphone out tonight.
No. Santa brought Violet the stupid megaphone. Whatever. Yes, I'm really good, and I'm looking forward to a great chat, gents. Thank you.
We are indeed. So we've got lots to cover tonight, but we've always got time for our audience. So we've got a few people watching already. Please feel free to pop comments in. So if you're watching on YouTube and you're watching on Facebook, I believe you can do it on X now as well. Just drop us a line, drop us a comment. Anything you want to know, anything you want to talk about, give us a shout, and we'll try and get it covered. We've got some comments already coming in tonight from John Sullivan, veteran watcher, and he's been on the show a couple of times. Happy Christmas, one and all. Please sack Eddie Howe. He's a clown. I think there's been rumours floating about around Eddie Howe in the last 24 hours. Let's see if anything develops from those. And we've also John Sullivan again. Hello, Phil. Hello, Tom. And hello, Mark. Right, hello, John. Hello, everybody that's watching. Let's get stuck straight in, and we are going to discuss what has been happening over the past few weeks in the Premier League. So let me just drop this floating banner off because it hides half the information, which we don't want. We've got Johnny Talks H2Z. Just got to give him a shout out. You Reds. Absolutely. Even though we lost yesterday, it was a fantastic performance. So we will talk about that very, very shortly. So let's get cracking straight on with the Premier League. Let's have a quick look at the table and where the table stands at the minute. And then we'll dissect a few of the teams and how they've been performing over the Christmas period. So let's have a look. Top of the table. There's the Premier League top 10 as it stands. Sitting up there nicely at the top is Arsenal, only just by 2 points. They played was it yesterday they played? Yeah, they played yesterday and managed to get a win. So they go back top. Man City were top for all of an hour and a half. And then obviously Arsenal took the lead there. So Arsenal flying high, good set of results there. Man City second, and they're chomping at the heels is Aston Villa, sat in third place. Obviously Liverpool in fourth. They have climbed the table somewhat since we were last in conversation before Christmas. They've had 3 games there and 3 wins on the bounce. Chelsea sitting happily in fifth, and there's Man United climbing that table. Bushy will be extremely happy about that, that Man United are starting to climb the table a little bit, and then up there in sixth. Sunderland, bad game today. Leeds dominated that second half with them. I don't know if anybody watched that. And Sunderland sat there in seventh. Brentford 8th, Crystal Palace 9th, and Fulham again climbing up in 10th place. 3 games on the bounce for Fulham. So, boys, what do we think of that top half of the table? While I have a look at a few of the games and pinpoint a few of the games out, what do we think, boys?
It's just nice to see a title race for once that's not 2 teams, and long may it continue. It's incredible. As a neutral, it's so boring when you see Liverpool or City run away with it year after year. You run the risk of turning into La Liga or the Bundesliga. So it's nice to see that we've got 3 teams really going at it, hammer and tongs. Are we going to see Liverpool catch them up a little bit? Maybe. If we could have a half-decent title race running into the last 3 weeks of the season, that'd be incredible, because I can't remember the last time that happened. I want to say it's well over 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a good period of time, hasn't it? I mean, looking at that table and seeing some of the teams up there, I mean, Sunderland, newly promoted this season, they're in the top 7. You know, wow. Let's doff our caps for that. Yes, we've got the big boys up there. We've got the Arsenals, we've got the Man Cities, Aston Villa pushing their way up, which is nice. But Brentford, Crystal Palace, and Fulham as well, all in that top 10. All, you know, mid to lower half teams, all fighting up there, which is great to see. Shame my team's not up there.
Well,
so
nearly half the season left to play, so you never know.
Yeah. There's plenty of time yet. We're in on game week 19 next week, so we'll see. Tom, what's your thoughts? Top half of the table.
Well, I'm looking at it, and Fulham is a lovely place to go. And no, I'm just joking, right? So, what I would say is, City are doing what they usually do, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've started to come really good, but then again, you look at Villa. As a complete neutral, I want Aston Villa to win the Premier League, as it were. I watched that game last night against Chelsea, which was a massive game, I think, for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Villa winning that was a massive statement. Chelsea losing that, I've seen a lot of their supporters calling for Maresca's head. So yeah, I think it's a. Do you know what I'm going to say? It's a 4-way title race right now. I think Liverpool can come back good. I think Villa are punching well above their weight, but if they keep doing it, we've seen it with Leicester City. Who knows what could happen? Man City have been here, done it, bought the T-shirt. Arsenal famously have failed every single time they try to do this. So I think it's a 4-way. I don't want to give a shout out to Brentford though, because I tipped them for relegation this season because they lost the manager, they lost the players. But is it Wayne Andrews?
Keith Andrews.
Keith Andrews, Mark, thank you. Who's the manager? I mean, I remember he was a pundit on the lower league thing on BBC many years ago. I think he's doing absolute wonders with them, and so fair play to him. And Fulham, once again, they keep going for it. And Sunderland, what a job Labree's doing there. So, listen, as Mark was saying before, it's very competitive for the first time in a very long time. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm looking down that table there. I'm going to pick a few matches out that we've that have been played over the last few weeks, but I'm looking at the table there, and I mean, if you look at that top 7, I would say the worst performing in the last 5 games is actually Chelsea. You know, in the last 5, they've lost 2, drew 2, won 1. You know, and they're sitting 5th. So it just shows you how quickly that table is likely to change, especially everything from, you know, I'm struggling to say that the top three aren't going to, at the minute, in my mind's eye, I'm struggling to say that the top three are not going to finish like the top three. I think that top three are probably going to be the top three come the end of the season. Arsenal, Man City, Aston Villa. What order, I do not know. I just think Aston Villa are on fire at the minute. I've got a bit of a soft spot for them. They're not too far from me anyway. I just feel as though it's going to be a really good season for them. A cracking season for them. Whether they win it or not, I don't know. But I'm looking at that top three going. I can't see much changing with that top three going on the performances that they are undertaking at the minute. I can't see the likes of Liverpool or Chelsea or even Man United even pushing for a position in the top three now.
So Phil,
yeah.
Who wins the league?
Honestly,
yep.
Okay, I tell you, I'd like to see Aston Villa win it, but I think Man City will win it. I think Arsenal will bottle it.
Right, Mark.
And if they do, I think Mikel Arteta will go.
I would like to see Arsenal win it for Gyökeres. I think he deserves some sort of major title. The dog agrees, but I also think Man City will win. Yeah, they're just, as Tom sort of alluded to, they're starting their usual, right, we're going to blow everyone away in the league. And it always starts about mid-December, early January, and they just go on a tear and they barely, they don't lose a game and they win most of them. So, yeah, I wouldn't be massively opposed if Villa won the league. We haven't played Villa since they relegated us 25 years ago. They're a far off war in a distant round. So, no issue there. What I would ask...
No hard feelings.
Not really, no, because it was such a long time ago. I barely remember it. Two things I'd say, though. If the table finishes as it is now, manager of the season has to be Regis Labree from Sunderland, because that is one hell of an achievement. Taking a new team to 7th, which may, depending on how the cups fall, be Conference League football. So don't just be giving it to the person who wins the league, because that's boring. And it's not really. Have you achieved anything if you're meant to win the league? Up for debate. But if Villa did win the league, would it be more impressive than Leicester winning it?
I'll answer that, Mark. No. I think Leicester winning the league. Well, it was 5,000 to 1 odds, wasn't it? They nearly got relegated on the last day of the season prior. I think we'll never see ever a Leicester situation ever again because of the way football is now. And I think that was maybe, obviously we had Blackburn all those years ago, didn't we? I don't think we'll ever see another Leicester situation because of the emergence of, Jamie Vardy, a splint maker from Sheffield. I just can't see it ever happening. But in answer to the question, it's 3 in a row. I think Man City win the league. But as a complete neutral, like when Leicester won it, I'd love to see Aston Villa do it as well. So
I think that's a given. I think really. Let's hear what you think about it in the comments. Who do you think is going to win the league? Who's going to win the Premier League this season? Do we think it's one of them top 3? Do we think someone's going to come stonking up the table later on in the second half of the season? So a few more comments coming in. We've got, where is Bushy? Winding up half the Rotherham fan base, Googling himself. Yeah, so if anybody's not seen our resident host of KB Terrace Talk, King Bush 007, he posted out on Facebook earlier some facts it's AI facts basically about himself. And it was quite flattering for him, which having the ego that you have when you are King Bush, self-proclaimed King Bush, then yeah, you're gonna AI yourself, you're gonna Google yourself, and he put a very flattering photo of himself and a massive spew about who he was and his importance at Rotherham United. So he does like to wind people up, but he has a lot of facts and he speaks a lot of truth. And he is very open about what he says about Rotherham United. He's very open about what he says about Man United as well. He's not, giving me a crib sheet to read off. I've known the man for quite some time. I would consider him as a friend. I have known the man for a good 15, maybe nearly 20 odd years. All I can say is run the ride. If you are no Bushy, if you want to get involved with Bushy, ride the train with him. The man's funny in everything that he does, funny in everything that he says, and yes, he does like to wind people up, but at the same time, people get wound up. They bite. So that's simply as it is.
I've not got Facebook activated, so somebody might need to send me a screenshot of these. But as soon as you said facts, I got an image of Rafa Benitez in my head. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
King Bush associated with Rafael Benitez now. No, that is a new one.
If he shaved his head and bought himself a little pair of specs, then I'm looking forward to reading this later. If someone wants to send me the screenshot.
I'll stick it in the WhatsApp group in a bit, mate. We've also got from John Sullivan, Toon, beep, beep, poor, beep, family-friendly show. John's not very happy with Newcastle at the minute, which we're going to come on to very shortly. Dusty Miller, is Bushy mated with Stephen Yaxley? No, he's not. They know each other. I don't know if they'd consider themselves friends of each other, but yes, Bushy does know him. But what Bushy does in his spare time is exactly down to Bushy. It's got nothing to do with the way he is on KB Terrace Talk, nothing to do with anything on KB Terrace Talk that he does. What he does in his spare time and the friends that he has and he mingles with in his spare time is entirely down to him. We're not going to get involved with that. This is just a football show. Steve Cherry, H3N, DCL, England's number 9. We are going to come on to that. There's been a lot of floating around talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin for Leeds United. Beginning of the season, a lot of Leeds United fans not happy with that signing, not happy with him coming into the club, Mr. Incident Prone, Mr. Accident Prone. And now he seems to be performing. So it'll be interesting to hear from our other Leeds participants of what they think of DCL at present. Poppy's in tonight evening. Poppy, hope you're well. Phil, you're sounding like you like Lee. Don't feed the ego. There's a fine line between like and tolerate, and that's kind of the line that I'm sitting on at the minute, Poppy. So we'll stick with that. Let's stick with that one. And also, Mers is watching tonight. Evening, lads. Fantastic evening to you, Mers. Keep the comments coming in, guys. We'll talk more with you guys as we go through the show. So I just want to pinpoint a few Premier League. We'll look at the second half of the table very shortly. I just want to pick out a few of the Premier League games that have happened over the last few weeks where we've not had a chance to talk about them. And I want to go back, all the way back to the 15th of December. On the 15th of December, there was a fantastic match in game week 16, and it was Manchester United versus Bournemouth. Now, off the top of your head, guys, does anybody know what that score ended as?
Yes, I watched it.
It was 4-4.
It was a 4-4 draw. It was at Old Trafford. It was Manchester United 4, Bournemouth 4. Now, I just want to put the feelers out there in regards to, and I'm not backing Man United in the slightest, but since that game, Bournemouth have not necessarily done that well. They drew against Burnley on the 20th of December. They lost yesterday to Brentford 4-1. And then they've got Chelsea next on the day before New Year's Eve. So looking at that, Man United going, it was a good draw, it was a good game, and so on and so forth. Me personally, as a outsider to it all, looking in from that game, I wouldn't necessarily be very happy as a Man United supporter. Drawing with Bournemouth, great game, but what do we think, boys?
You should never be conceding 4 at home to anyone, really, unless you are Wolves. and you're playing Manchester.
Yeah.
When you're Man United and you are so used to winning trophy after trophy after trophy, certainly when I was younger, not so much in the last 15 years, that's not acceptable at all. And I said to my mate's a United fan, and I don't see where they're going under Amorim. I cannot see it. Yeah, all right, they've beaten Newcastle. It was Boxing Day, but I think that was more down to the fact that Newcastle's attack was sharp as a spoon. All right, they changed the system as well, and they looked better with the back four and Dorgu playing higher up. But no, it was if you're a United fan, you can't. I don't see how you can, in any way, come away from that and say, "Yeah, point against Bournemouth, decent." Bournemouth have been in really poor form recently. Semenyo's stopped his, free scoring. He hadn't until yesterday. He hadn't scored, and I think he was about 6 or 7 games. So, no, bad result. Bad result for United. Should never have got that bad.
No. Talking of Semenyo, obviously snubbing quite a few teams recently. A few teams putting the feelers out that they're wanting him. Man United being one of them, Man City being the other. I know Liverpool put their name in the hat for him. I believe Spurs did, but then they pulled out. Do we think he's that good? Do we think he's,
No.
should he remain as a Bournemouth player? Do we think he's good enough to go to another team, maybe a better team?
He can make a step up, but I don't think. Where does he fit into Manchester City's team? So you have Haaland, who is not getting dislodged unless his legs fall off, and even then, you kind of consider playing him because he's that good. You've got Marmoush, who I'm assuming is at AFCON with Egypt. I haven't looked at the squads.
He probably is, Mark. He must be.
So I don't, is he going to just come off the bench? Is he satisfied coming off the bench? Obviously, he'll get a massive pay rise at Manchester City, and if that's all he's interested in, then yeah, fine, muzzles off. But I don't see it. I wouldn't go. If I was him, I wouldn't be looking to go to Liverpool, Manchester City, or Manchester United for different reasons. If I was Semenyo and I wanted to leave, because I want to get better, I'd look to go to somewhere like a Villa, or maybe even a Newcastle, where he's got a half decent chance of getting a lot of minutes and playing in European competitions. I don't see Bournemouth qualifying for Europe anytime soon. More likely to get relegated with their current form.
Yeah, I mean, when it came out that they were all in that title, in that race for Semenyo, I was actually surprised that I didn't see the likes of Sunderland or Newcastle. Well, like you say, maybe even Villa in that mix, because I can't see where he fits in the Man City squad. Yes, Marmoush is out. He is at AFCON at the minute, but he didn't really. I think GH has said he didn't really play much before AFCON anyway. Because there's just better players in that City squad. So I don't see where he sits in City. I think, and this is what Mers has said, and I completely agree with Mers, I think he would mess up his career going to Man City, to be fair, and being at Man City.
What I would say is that obviously there's this clause, isn't there? There's this release clause, I think.
Yeah. They've got to meet the release clause, yeah.
So who's going to gamble? Will Man United gamble? Will Chelsea gamble? Will Tottenham gamble? Where would you rather play? Right, let's not forget. Bournemouth, right, are in the Premier League by 1,000 times the smallest club in the league. Right? Would anybody disagree with that?
I don't know. I think Burnley's probably.
No, I would not by 1,000 times, but they are the smallest.
Probably one of the significant smallest.
The smallest, right? And what Iraola does there is incredible, and what they've got is great. Who's going to gamble to activate that release clause? If I was somebody like Nottingham Forest, I'd be going for it. But
yeah, absolutely. But again, it's that wage bill.
Who above that is going to go for it?
It's that wage bill. It's that total scenario with wage bills and wage structures. I mean, Mirza said the same. I think Villa would struggle to sign him because of their wage structure is such a mess and because of the high percentage versus their turnover. I mean, I'd have him at Forest without a shadow of a doubt. I just don't. I don't see the players these days. They not all of them, but players these days tend to run for the money and the likelihood that they're going to win a trophy this season. And that's where, when it comes to January, they look at how much they're going to get and whether they're likely to win a trophy that season with that club and make an impact as per se. And so Semenyo's probably sat there in that scenario going, whoever I go to, they've got to be able to pay me right, and I'm likely to win a trophy this season just to project myself in the right direction for the following season. And that's where he'll be thinking. He'll be thinking along those lines. Because I would.
I can sort of understand that. I mean, the pay thing mystifies me. He's not going to be on minimum wage at Bournemouth, is he? He's going to be earning a fair whack.
He's probably their highest paid.
Yeah, probably. One of. And he will go and earn, it'll be a hefty pay rise if he goes to one of these bigger clubs, quote unquote. But he's just gonna sit on the bench. He's not. As I say, if he goes to City, for example, barring a serious injury to Haaland, is he going to play regularly? No. You'll see him in the Carabao Cup, you'll see him in the FA Cup, and you'll see him in European, where Pep decides, I think the game against Copenhagen is going to be easier because we've got Chelsea on the Sunday, so I'll play him against Copenhagen and throw him about. I'd sit it out. I really would. I don't. But somewhat he will go somewhere. The release clause is only valid and the first half of January, I think, and then it becomes, it expires. So, we've only got another 2 weeks or so to wait and find out what's going to happen. He's allegedly in advanced talks with Manchester City. I think he's making a mistake personally, but there you are.
I think a few people feel the same. I think, I'd love to see a club blindside City and just go, no, we're going to have him, and offer him a deal that he can't refuse. I would love to see that, and I would love to see it not be one of them top 6 teams. I'd love to see it be, someone.
I think Spurs will go for him.
Spurs were going for him, then they pulled out, didn't they? That's what I'd heard.
Well, it's all smoke.
Not like Spurs being decisive in the transfer market, is it?
No, that's very true.
Exactly, Marco.
GH is very vocal tonight. Semenyo needs to go to, what's he put? Semenyo needs to go to a good team. So that's Spurs, Chelsea and United out of the window. GH there stuttering on his Chelsea. He's only saying that because he's a Liverpool supporter and, good teams. Sorry, Merz is saying GH, Chelsea won't go for him as he doesn't fit their transfer policy.
He's actually not spread his fee out over like 20 years or whatever they like to do.
It's all about age, isn't it? It's all about age with Chelsea.
And again, I'll go back to that point of what are Chelsea going to win this season? A European position, maybe. We'll see. We'll see indeed. Right. So, other games that have been played. Ones that we didn't talk about last week, obviously Man City beating West Ham 3-0. Nothing new there. What are our thoughts on Nuno at West Ham? What are our thoughts around Nuno? Do we think he's going to last the season? Do you think he'll go before?
I'll tell you something right now, Phil, right? Do you know we were talking about Semenyo before?
Yeah.
Right? Why is nobody talking about taking Jared Bowen off West Ham? Because
I think to be perfectly honest with you, Tom, I feel as though Jared Bowen is a bit like Jamie Vardy for Leicester. It does not matter what you offer Jared Bowen, he will not leave West Ham.
You think he's getting threatened by Danny Dyer?
No.
Oh no, there's definitely
father-in-law.
I believe Danny Dyer did a show. It might have been a Graham Norton or something like that. He did something, and he said, obviously Jared Bowen is dating his daughter. I believe he said to him, "There's only 3 clubs that you could ever move to from leaving West Ham, and none of them were in the Premier League. I think they were all in Europe."
Was he going to shank him or something like
Yeah,
that?
he's probably going to take him down the Queen Vic and give him a good hiding or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think in my eyes, I see Jared Bowen as like a Jamie Vardy of the West Ham world for a change.
Well, he was at Hull City. Mark, correct me if I'm wrong. He was at Hull City before West Ham, wasn't he?
Yeah, Hereford, then Hull, then West Ham. As soon as West Ham get relegated, he's out the door.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
He's floating around the England team. He's obviously been in plenty of squads. He's got a handful of caps. He will have one eye on the World Cup. Is he going to make it this time? Probably not. So he's then got to think he's still of an age where he can appear at the next Euros, which is in England and the UK. Could he get to the next World Cup? Yes. So as soon as West Ham get relegated, he will be out. He'll be gone.
He'll have a relegation.
He's the most sustainable asset. Him and Paqueta. Paqueta's also another one. He'll be straight out because
absolutely. So do we think that's going to happen then? With the performance of West Ham at the minute, the questions over Nuno, do we think that's an inevitable thing for West Ham? Do we think West Ham are going that way? Do we think West Ham are pretty much guaranteed?
They are going down. They are 100% going down. I don't blame Nuno for this because it's a crap squad.
Yeah.
It is a poor squad. You've got Bowen, you've got Paqueta. That's about it that you could sort of hang your hat on and say, yeah, decent players. Everybody else seems to sort of just, they're there. They floated around for a bit. The worrying thing for me is they can't seem to hold on to anything. They collapse like a house of cards against Man City. Okay, fine. It's Manchester City. You kind of expect that. But then the poor boy Scales, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, Scales, he gives the ball away at the end of the game. Jimenez scores against, and they lose 1-0. It's floods of tears. It's only Fulham, no disrespect, but it's not. They're not world beaters. They can't hold on. And it was at home as well, wasn't it? So I don't see any hope for West Ham whatsoever. There's just, looking at the squad here, I've got it up. It's just junk. Hermanson, relegated with Leicester. Carl Walker-Peters, relegated with Southampton. Kilman, okay on his day, but he's in a crap back line. Igor Julio, can't get a game at Brighton. Somerville, relegated with Leeds. James Ward-Prowse, relegated with Southampton. Callum Wilson, all right, he's world class, but apart from him, I forgot that he was there. To be fair, and Bowen.
That's the problem because those 3 players they disappear in a squad like that, don't they? Because the squad. So I'm going to go back to it now. What Nuno did for Forest was absolutely fantastic, and how he ran the ship at Forest was absolutely fantastic. The way he left Forest was a bit crap and a bit pants, really, and it was all a bit blown out of proportion. And so a lot of the Forest fans at the minute are going, well, it serves him right. They're not performing very well at West Ham. He's going to lose his job at West Ham. Grass isn't always greener on the other side. Shouldn't have spat his dummy out at Forest. I'm kind of backing what you're saying, Mark, and actually going, it's not actually Nuno's fault. Nuno has got a squad with 3 players that you could guarantee week in, week out are going to perform, just about. And then the rest of the squad who are just hit and miss. And so actually, he's not actually physically got anything to work with. So although, yes, Nuno is a traitor of Forest and so on and so forth, I actually feel for Nuno a little bit on this front and going, listen, you're not even giving the players the money, the time or anything.
Phil, can I ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
Right. A serious question. back when all this started, are you team Edu or team Santo?
Team Edu, team who?
Nuno.
Oh, all day long, Nuno.
So why did Marinakis side with Edu?
Because Marinakis has got an ego. He's got a bigger ego than Bushy, you'll have to understand.
Never.
which is hard to get a grasp of, but he's got an ego. And because he bought Edu in from Arsenal, and it's his choice to bring that man in, and solely his choice to bring that man in, and he brought him in sooner than what he's bought Nuno in. Nuno had been there longer. He was backing Edu based on the fact of, well, this man's done what he did at Arsenal. Now, this man's a genius. This man's whatever it is. Comes to then Nuno, all Nuno's literally said is, which he shouldn't have said, Marinakis is showing me that he's not my friend anymore. You know, I'm going to cry, I'm going to spit my dummy out, I'm going to go public about all this and hope that something changes. And Marinakis just went, listen, you're not happy. I brought Edu in. I've made these decisions and I've decided to bring Edu in. You've got to back me. And if you don't back me, the door's there. And Nuno's gone, how can I back you when Edu is a bag of wank? And he's probably then undermined Marinakis. And Marinakis has just gone, bye. See you later. Because you won't undermine me because I am Marinakis. I've got this ego. And that's it.
Fair enough.
And I think that is the scenario. I think it's all down to Marinakis and Edu.
I think the bottom three, as it were now, get relegated.
Let's have a look at the bottom half of the table while we're talking about it. So there's the bottom half. Tottenham sat in 11th, better than last season. Everton 12th. Brighton, bit of a poor run for Brighton recently for the last 5 games. Not very good from them. Newcastle, obviously, we'll talk about Newcastle a little bit more. Bournemouth, again, not a very good run. Leeds United, bit of glimmer of hope there. Couple of wins, 3 draws. Obviously, they drew today against Sunderland, against a very good Sunderland side. Obviously, Nottingham Forest there, sat in 17th. Couple of games on the bounce there, but one was Man City. So you've kind of got to look at that as the bigger picture of, okay, we came out of that loss and then we've come straight into Man City. And we played our hearts out and we should have got a draw, but it went to that 84th minute goal. And then you've got the bottom 3 then, and quite a big difference there between 17th and 18th.
It's a big gap, Phil. It's a big gap. I was claiming a couple of weeks ago that West Ham, because they've got players like Bowen, Paqueta, they could get themselves out of it. But you know what? Dominic Calvert-Lewin steps up for Leeds United. No, you lot, Forest will be absolutely fine. No issue there. That's your 3 relegated. Burnley, crap. Wolverhampton, I think we're safe to say, are going to be relegated to League 10 because of how bad they are.
I think Wolverhampton could take a double season drop based on that performance.
Right, okay.
I don't think they're good. I don't even think they're good enough for the Championship. The way they perform this season, I think they'll end up with a double league drop over the next.
Are they going to? And we've said this a few weeks ago. Are they going to beat Derby's record?
Yeah, looking at it at the minute, yeah.
I suppose it depends what happens in January, but
who's going to come?
Well, that's the thing. You're coming to a Championship club. That's that's what's happening. Well, that's the reality of it. They are, 2 points. They're 16 points off 17th. Blimey, you'd have to win 6 games in a row. Hope that Forest lose 6 games in a row to even get out of that bottom 3. It's not going to happen. No chance. So anyone that comes to Wolves is going to be like, look, we're planning for the Championship. See what you can do in the Premier League and take it from there. But
I mean, imagine being a Wolves fan. I mean, I've been a Rotherham fan at the bottom end of the Championship, getting battered every week, and it's awful.
A bit like now, isn't it, Tom? But now you're the bottom end of League One, not even Championship anymore.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. But I mean, imagine being a Wolverhampton Wanderers fan. Great club, great fans. I know a few
Great
Wolves
stadium.
fans.
I mean, their stadium's
Great,
cracking.
Molyneux, great. I mean, again, you look at all the players that Wolves have had. Maybe Nuno. Maybe they should sack Edwards, right, and get Nuno in.
It doesn't matter who Wolves
Could
get in.
you imagine? Could you imagine if Nuno turned it around at Wolverhampton? How that would look on West Ham?
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it'd be a story because obviously he was there beforehand, wasn't he? So
Yeah,
Exactly.
no one, Christ isn't saving Wolves, and if he can't save them, no one can.
no, especially at Christmas as well.
Yeah.
A comment come in. Really happy with our performance recently. We deserved a win. However, drawing from 1-0 down is good for us, as a few months ago we would be losing 3-0. That's from Poppy, who is a Leeds United fan. So yeah, Leeds doing really well. Nice few performances there. They're making it difficult for teams, aren't they? They're not moving mountains, but they're making it difficult for teams to leave with 3 points.
Well, that's the bottom three, Phil. That's the bottom three. End of.
The West Ham, Burnley, Wolverhampton. That's where we're leaving.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. Now,
I think so as well. Unless Bournemouth do something outrageous and West Ham manage to get themselves out, I feel the same.
They're going to sack Nuno, aren't they, West Ham? They're going to sack them.
I reckon there's more chance of Burnley doing something than West Ham, but every from 11th to 17th, and a bit arse, including Spurs in that as well. But I've seen something from all of those teams that makes me think, you can do something in this league. Fine. Obviously, Bournemouth on a terrible run, but they've got the players to get them out of it. West Ham, I've seen nothing. Wolves, there is nothing. Burnley, I've seen ever so small glimpses, but it's too few and far between.
Yeah.
So, back in the Championship, Burnley can win the title yet again, make the Championship boring again.
Yeah.
They'll be back in 2 years doing the same shit.
I genuinely do believe, though, the Wolves team, and the last thing we'll talk about these bottom three, because they are literally scraping the bottom of the barrel. I actually do believe that team of Wolves, I think, no offence to anybody in League One at all, but I feel as though Wolves would struggle in League One. Never mind about Championship. Going off that team, I don't see how they could perform in Championship. They are more of a League One side, as they currently are.
They're certainly lower end Championship, but the very fact that whoever's in charge at Wolves, I've no idea. Obviously, remember Edwards is the manager, but the whole club itself. I mean, what the fans must be thinking. I feel so sorry for them. I really do. The ones that turn up, they must feel embarrassed. But I don't know. I mean, they managed to score against Liverpool, didn't they? But I mean, I think they will. I think is it who played for Derby? Who was the famous ones?
Savage.
Was it Savage?
Savage was there.
They're praying. Danny Mills? No, Danny
Mills. Yeah, Danny Mills. Danny Mills came in
January,
I think.
Did he? They were praying for Wolves to take this thing off their back because at the minute,
they've got no. If you're a Derby fan, it's probably the most exciting you've been in years. But I mean, we're fans of three clubs who have been, dogged down in the mire. We've all seen our teams get battered week in, week out on our way down. In Forest case, League One. In our case, League Two. Rotherham had a couple of stints in League Two as well. You do feel for the Wolves fans, and you do hope that when they get relegated, which is going to be February at this point, I would imagine.
Earlier than that, Mark, surely.
Quite possibly. But you need the other 17 to sort of pick up. You do hope that they get the business right in the summer and they don't do a Luton or they don't do a Sunderland from about sort of 8 years ago. Because they are a big club. They're a historic club. but we'll wait and see, won't we?
Yeah, absolutely. So, touch on a couple of the other teams there. Obviously, we talked about Bournemouth, Leeds United, flying, starting to. My point, what I was trying to get across about Leeds United is Leeds United are a points stopper. Let's call them. They stop teams from getting 3 points. I feel as though that's what Leeds are good at doing. They make it difficult for teams to leave with a win. And I'm not taking that as a negative towards Leeds United going, they can't win this, that, and the other. I look at Leeds United and I look at some of the teams that they've been playing, particularly recently, some of them top 6, top 8 teams that they've been playing recently, and they're a point stopper. They steal points from teams that just can't quite do it on the day, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think that's how they're doing so well at the minute. I think that's how they're performing at the minute. And good to them. Good on them.
Yeah. Again, another big historic club. And if he can stay fit, and it is a massive if, then Calvert-Lewin in the World Cup squad.
Yeah, I think Leeds United fans wouldn't agree with that. Based on they'd like to think that having a Leeds United player in the World Cup squad again would be absolutely fantastic. And being DCL, who came in at the beginning of the season, and I would say probably 90% of the Leeds United fans were not happy with that, to then manage to stay fit and then to start playing the way that he's playing at the minute, surely Mr. Tuchel will be looking at him going, maybe.
Well, as things stand, it's currently Harry Kane, Ollie Watkins, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. If you're taking 3 number 9s.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Unless you want to take Rashford as your number 9.
Yeah.
He's doing quite well at Barcelona. Obviously, they're on a winter break at the moment, but
Rashford's one of them, isn't he? Rashford's he's gone from being a number 1 starter to kind of like a 60-minute, 70-minute player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
His utility, though, when he can play off the left.
Yeah. The utilization of him is his only like shouting point. I don't know how much he's got left in the tank.
Right, here's the question for you. Right, Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Ivan Toney? Who are you taking?
Personally, Ivan Toney.
Mark?
I don't know.
I
really don't know.
While Mark thinks about it, I'll tell you why I've chosen Ivan Toney. Okay. Now, Tony's not been playing in the Premier League this season. Obviously, we know, so on and so forth. But based on Ivan Toney's performances, based on his experience playing for an international squad and in an international squad, I would go for Ivan Toney. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is no way in a scenario where you can put him head-to-head with Ivan Toney based on his fitness and his experience within the international squad.
Okay, so
Great answer.
it is a good answer. But I am going to now say that I'd pick Calvert-Lewin for a couple of reasons. One, how many times as England fans have we moaned that whoever the manager is has picked his favourites and has ignored the players in form? So if DCL keeps his form going from now until May, I don't watch the Saudi League because I don't care about it.
Same.
If DCL can keep his form up, then yes, I'd pick DCL over Ivan Toney. The second reason, I actually don't know if Ivan Toney's been released from prison yet. So it's going to be hard for him to play if he's got, a ball and chain around his ankle stuck behind bars.
Is he in prison?
He got arrested a couple of weeks ago, didn't he?
Was something to do with drink or something?
He got pulled out of a club. I think he threw a punch.
Yeah, he threw a punch at the bouncer.
I don't know who he threw a punch at, but I definitely saw a still of him getting, taken out in cups. That sounds like a half decent night, to be fair.
Yeah, a cracking night. I wouldn't mind have been involved in that. We've got GH. I would take Tammy Abraham.
Off.
Tammy Abraham playing in Turkey for Besiktas. Okay.
And Poppy, his problem is England team is already picked. They don't pick who is in form. They pick whose face fits. Yeah, how quick they can suck up Tuchel off, isn't it? I don't know. I just feel as though I don't think DCL can stay fit long enough. I just can't see it.
It's going to be Watkins and Kane, isn't it? Hey, let's face it.
Yeah, Watkins, Kane, and they might take Rashford based on his versatility.
Oh, yes.
I think Rashford gets taken as a left winger if he's taken.
Yeah, absolutely. Then two other teams I want to have a quick look at: Newcastle and Tottenham. So we'll start with Newcastle.
I was going to the toilet very quickly.
Yeah, no worries, mate. So Newcastle, Mark. Very hit and miss at the minute. I mean, their last few games. Let's have a look at what their last few games have been.
One of them was 2-2 against Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean they got. Just looking down the list. They lost 1-0 at Sunderland Sunderland for that derby game. They drew 2-2 with Chelsea, which is no mean feat. Well done them, so on and so forth. But again, that was at home. Really, you should have snuck that one in. And then they played
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day. Yeah, they played Man United and lost 1-0.
So
Man United.
If you look at those three results, Sunderland, they were abysmal. Chelsea, they were very good. How they didn't get a penalty for the barge on, I want to say it was Gordon, but I can't actually remember, where VAR came out and said, no, it was a shielding of the ball. No, it wasn't. He was nowhere near the ball. He came flying in like an Exocet missile and sent him flying. So that was a penalty, and they should have seen the game out, but they played well. The United game, I thought they were fine, but it was the attack. The final ball was just rubbish.
Yeah, I thought the United game was just a bit boring, to be fair. It was kind of like I expected more from both of them. And really, I just felt it was a bit...
I think there is an element that you can say they got caught out by United playing a back four, but even so, they got plenty of balls in and they did nothing with it. So I'm not convinced by Voltemada. Might not have seen enough of him, but to me, he just sort of seems a bit, well, we'll just whip it into him and hope for the best. But then half the time, he's not even in the bloody box. He's hanging around on the edge looking for scraps. It's like, no, if you're a number 9, get stuck in, be that focal point. Whip the balls in. If he's nodding it down or getting it in, fine. But it's just not happening for me. I think they need another striker. Maybe we'll see a bit more improvement now. This has come into form, but it is a bit of an unknown at the moment.
What do we think of the likes of GH has put in the comments? GH has put Gordon and Alanga need to do more. Do we think both of those are a bit more lackluster? I mean, personally, looking at Alanga at Newcastle compared to what he was at Forest, wow, what a difference a team can make and a team ethos can make. Because he's a baller. Alanga is a baller, and I'm just wondering what's going off at Newcastle that's stopping him from reaching the same potential that he did at Forest.
It might be what he's being asked to do. But for me, every time I watch Newcastle, it's not often, but last season, Jacob Murphy was incredible for them.
Absolutely.
And every time I see Jacob Murphy play for Newcastle this season, he's done quite well, but he's not always playing. So is how chopping and changing so much? Is there a rhythm? Everything seems to change at Newcastle. Obviously, the issue with the goalkeeper, which is, I think that's fine. I think Ramsdale's more than adequate in goal, but it's the front line for me. It just seems all over the shop.
Yeah. There's no like you say, Voltemade, he'll have a game where he's absolutely fantastic, and then the next game is just, or the next 3 or 4 games, you just don't see him.
Chelsea is a good example. He got the 2 goals, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's 2. Yeah, 2 goals. And he looked brilliant. He looked really, really good. But Sunderland, he was Sunderland's biggest threat because he ended up scoring for them. And I don't recall him doing anything against United the other night.
No.
That might be because I've had a couple of drinks since then, and my memory's not very good.
No, I'm struggling myself. I mean, I've looked at my fantasy, and I've got him in on my fantasy, and he didn't score. He didn't get that many points, so he can't have done an awful lot on that match neither. So
I think the biggest point, gents, right? I think the biggest point here is, and I genuinely believe this. I think this is Eddie Howe's last season at Newcastle, because I think he will, after the World Cup, Tuchel, let's hope he wins the World Cup, obviously. I think win or lose, Tuchel steps away and Eddie Howe is the next England manager.
what do we think to that, Mark?
I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. I would agree that Tuchel stayed on after the World Cup, regardless. I wouldn't be surprised if Howe is out of work before the end of the season.
But do you think he'll be you think he's the next England manager, Mark?
I don't know, is the honest answer. I would probably say so, because I think the FA saw the people whinging, oh, we've hired a German. So it doesn't matter, you hire the best person out there. But they are probably going to want to go back to English. So what English managers are available?
Yeah.
You've got Howell.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got Lee Carsley. Do you put him back up again?
No chance.
You've got Lampard.
Nope.
No, agree. Certainly not now. I'm very biased, but is he ready for England? Absolutely not. Gerrard, even harder of a no. There's just very.
I know he's not English. I know he's not English. I know he's Welsh. But what about Steve Cooper?
No, as England manager.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up, Phil.
No.
Why not?
Oh, come on.
No, I don't see that being a viable option. No harm in it. So I like Steve Cooper. I think he's a great manager. I think what he did to that Leicester team in the Premier League was fantastic, because it set the ground to relegation.
You know what? I tried to keep a straight face through all of that. That's why it wasn't clickbait. It wasn't anything like that. Before people think, I just wanted to see these two reactions when I mentioned Steve Cooper. I was going to say Nuno, to be fair. So you're lucky I went with Steve Cooper and not Nuno. Right?
You take Nuno.
I tried to keep a straight face for as long as I could there, but Mark, you really, really destroyed me then with that lovely little comment there. So.
You don't give enough praise to the people who relegate Leicester City. I'm sick of it. We need to be praising these people for getting the Foxes relegated, which is why I'm putting forward New Year's honours list Marty Cifuentes, because I think he can take Leicester to League One. I believe he's the man for the job.
I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. So, yeah, GH has cropped up with Sean Dyche.
Fuck off.
Listen, mate, he's currently managing an excellent team, and he's going to get us up to 7th by the end of the season. So shut your trap. He's staying put. Tuchel can. There can be a fight between Eddie Howe and I don't know whoever. Nuno.
It will be Eddie Howe. It's nailed on. Eddie Howe is the.
I'd like to see it be an English manager.
It will be Eddie Howe. Can't be anybody else.
And if it is Eddie Howe, then so be it.
I've never really been that arsed about English managers for England, but I actually sort of thinking about it over the last couple of years, is thinking, well, if the World Cup is who is the best nation on the planet, surely that should extend to coaching staff. So maybe all nations, all their coach staff should be, English coaches and staff for England, French for France, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I think you're right, because I only think it's going to be Eddie Howe, because I don't think there's anyone else out there that's at the level.
Interesting.
Give it Rooney, exactly. Friggin' hilarious.
We've spent nearly an hour talking about the Premier League. GH just dropped in again. I mean, won't be long till he's sacked at this rate if your losses continue. That's a massive if, GH. Wind your neck back in, mate. You had a rough part to the season. We're still dealing with the Ange Postecoglou scenario. Sean Dyche's doing absolutely fine. Leave the man alone. And on that note, we're going to swiftly move on to the Championship. So that is currently how the top half of the Championship table looks. Coventry sitting pretty at the top there, 51 points. A good 8 points ahead there of Middlesbrough, who are then a further decent 5 points ahead of Ipswich. It's a handful, should I say? So, yeah, sitting pretty up at the top there, Mark. What's your thoughts on your?
I've been hesitant to say this for fear of jinxing it, but I am going to openly say it now. We are staying up. Yes, definitely staying up. No relegation this season.
Bushy, if you're watching, make sure you clip that.
No, it's been a bit weird if you look at those last 5 games, the hammering off Ipswich, which was never a 3-0 game, the draw against Preston, don't know how we didn't win that, the 1-0 against Bristol City, fine, the draw against Southampton, lucky to come away with a point there after Jada Silva committed GBH on one of the Southampton players, one of the worst tackles I've seen in a very long time, and then again, another 1-0 win on Boxing Day against Swansea. Fine, take it. It does seem, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but it seems... Do you remember 04-05 Chelsea under Mourinho when he first came in? First half of the season, it was, the great entertainers. Second half, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Boring as sin. That's what it feels like it's turning into. So if that happens, great, happy days. But now I'm thinking of the grim reality of the Premier League and thinking, we've not got Premier League quality players in the squad. So next summer will be very interesting.
But Mark, neither did Sunderland.
Yeah, true, but
I'll correct you there, though, Tom. Sunderland did very well in their transfers. The transfers they got in the summer.
That's what I mean.
They didn't spend masses, absolutely, but they had the right man choosing who to bring.
Exactly. It's all down to that.
Have Coventry got that? Have Coventry's...
Who's your director of football, Mark?
We haven't got one.
Oh, well,
you need to get one of them then, mate.
All done by Chief Scout Dean Austin. Since Lampard has been in, what signs? Matt Grimes came in January last year, and he's been the best midfielder in the Championship at what he does, so fine. Who else has come in? Kane Kessler-Hayden, not really had a run in the team. Miguel Barral, barely played. And I'm sure there's someone else that's come in whose name escapes. Luke Wolfenden, again, barely played. Not through anything he's done. It's just the fact that Bobby and Kitch have been unbelievable as a pair at the back. And he's only really had a look in last couple of games because we had a massive flu outbreak and Bobby's got a tiny issue with his calf. So, but it's looking good. The big game for us is Ipswich tomorrow night. And I was saying to Phil before we started, we don't need to win that. Ipswich needs to win it because if we draw, nothing changes. What Middlesbrough do is irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. We can only concentrate on ourselves. So.
Yeah, I mean, even if Ipswich win that, you've still got 10 points lead over them. It just puts that pressure on Middlesbrough then, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
And the way it's going to be a bum fight for second because I mean, look at how tight that table is, blimey. I mean, if you take us out of the equation, because we're so far ahead for now, touching all the wood.
Yeah, I mean, you go all the way down to 12th there. We'll have a look at the second half of the table.
It's
We're going all the way down to 12.
ridiculous.
Southampton on 31 points, Ipswich on 38 points.
I mean, Watford had a dreadful start. They've come out of nowhere. QPR tend to live in 17th, and they're all of a sudden in 9th. Stoke have tumbled all the way down to 10th, which I think a few of us thought might happen. Derby, just holding back the sick. They've got Carlton Morris, who can score goals. I think he was missing for the Birmingham game. And Southampton again, dreadful start. Sack the manager, get Eckhart in, and he's taken them up the table again. That they should have beat us against 10 men, and it was only making his first appearance of the season. Joel Latabaudiere doing some unbelievable defending. Him and Wolf and Rushworth at the back, unbelievable. But it's so tight.
Yeah, I've gone on record, Mark, and I don't know if you agree, mate, and Phil. I think this is the worst championship in years. However, as a caveat to that, I love it because it's so close.
Well, this is the thing. Is it a bad thing that? Because I would argue it's a good thing that you have got. If we are running away with it and we're only 8 points clear, I would say that's a better thing than when you've got Leeds, Burnley, and Sheffield United, who all finished between 90 and 100 points. There was never any threat to those three, and it only became a coin flip between Leeds and Burnley on the final day of the season because Sheffield United fell away in the last few games.
Yeah.
It was boring. It was all it was last season was the fight for the playoffs, and even then, fourth spot. Well, that was Sunderland since about November because they weren't catching the top three.
Indeed.
Could get a run going to challenge them. So it was. I was amazed that Sunderland got promoted because they've been on the beach since November, December time because they knew they'd finish in fourth.
True.
But I like it like this. I mean, is whoever
of course
goes...
you do. You're top.
Well, yeah, I know. It's rare. I've never seen us top in the championship before. But I still think whoever goes up, even if it's Ipswich, with their Premier League bench, as we were sort of scared of a couple of weeks ago, whoever goes up is going to have a real struggle next season unless they get the transfers right.
Correct.
Sunderland, I think, have broke the mould in getting it so right this season.
They have.
I can just see an absolute disaster coming next year for at least one of the clubs, and please God, don't let it be us.
Yes. Aye.
Okay, let's have a look at the bottom half of the championship. I've just been scanning through a few of the matches over the last few weeks, should I say. Nothing major. I mean, a nice win for Wrexham over Sheffield, over an on-form, let's say, Sheffield United, climbing up the table quite rapidly. But Wrexham obviously beating them 5-3 yesterday. Looking at the second half of the table there, obviously Wednesdays is a guaranteed. I think it's more guaranteed than Wolves going down, I think, looking at that. Then you've got Norwich, Portsmouth, Oxford United, all quite low on points there. And then a jump up of 4 points to Swansea, Sheffield United and Blackburn. Do we think that's how the table is going to finish come the end of the season?
No.
Are we going to bottle it, or?
I can't see Norwich going down. I think they will sort themselves out eventually. For Oxford's sake, I hope what I saw this morning isn't true, but apparently, because they sacked the manager a couple of days ago, according to the Sun, so it's probably complete bollocks, they're going to give the job to John Terry.
No, I can, Mark. So I was actually on X today, and John Terry was playing a round of golf ruled himself out of the job.
Oh, did he?
As did I. I think it was a complete rumor.
Can you hear that? That was the sigh of relief coming out of Oxfordshire.
I tell you what.
So I've just done a bit of a random search, and apparently Des Buckingham, a former Oxford United player, has returned from India to become the club's next manager.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They sacked him last season for Rowett, didn't they?
Maybe that's an old. I don't know if that's an old. Yeah. However, there are rumours that John Terry may replace him. But yeah, apparently.
But Terry's categorically ruled himself out. Look, Oxford, the second manager, a fantastic manager who I would take at my gaff tomorrow. However, they've got rid. It's between. I think I agree with Mark. Norwich will get themselves out of trouble, and I would say it's going to be Chef Wed, Pompey, and Oxford that go down.
Okay. The book is saying Tony Mowbray, Craig Shaw, John Terry, Michael Beale, or Liam Manning are the top ones.
What for Oxford?
For Oxford, yeah.
Liam Manning.
Liam Manning.
He did
Mowbray.
very well.
Because he left Oxford for Bristol City, didn't he, in November 23? And they're saying he is a candidate to make a return.
Right. So let's look at this. I'm a Rugby United fan, right? Oxford.
Are you?
Similar, yes, mate. Similar size club to us. Tony Mowbray would never come to Rotherham. Who was the other one?
I said Tony Mowbray. Obviously, we said John Terry's.
He won't come either.
Craig Shaw.
Craig Shaw is in the centre.
He spent a spell as their caretaker manager, didn't he?
Is Craig Shaw not a Blackburn centre half?
He was, yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, he played for
Blackburn,
Roger and Notts County. Was there a fucking European side he did as well?
Yeah, he had the shiny stick of the 95-96 Premier League sticker book. Anyway, look, Oxford are gone.
And then Michael Beale's the other one.
Michael Beale, fuck me. Speak to Glasgow Rangers fans about him.
QPR
Christ.
Oh, and Sunderland fans about him. Jesus.
Exactly.
Need QPR fans about him. Anyone about him? Yeah. Okay. Do we think it's curtains for Oxford then, and we think Norwich is
not curtains, because again, that is very tight. I mean, 6 points from 22nd to 16th. Sorry. West Brom will not go down, but you could see Charlton getting dragged in. You could see Blackburn getting dragged in. Sheffield United, we all think they're going to at least finish top half.
Yeah.
Swansea, they didn't look terrible against us. Actually, that they had a couple of very good chances they should have buried against us on Boxing Day. So, again, they can probably sort themselves out. But yeah, I would agree with Tom. Portsmouth and Oxford, they're probably the two that are going. And along with Wednesday.
Obviously.
Yeah, so I'm just having a look at a few of the championship games. More exciting than the games coming up tomorrow, really. There's some cracking little games on tomorrow. Obviously, Coventry, Ipswich, Leicester, Derby. That's a nice little one there. Stoke.
A meteorite hit Leicester, it wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah, Stoke, who are going down a little bit, with Sheffield United, who are climbing up a little bit. So that'll be interesting. Oxford and Swansea. So that could be a points crucial thing there.
That's a 6 point of that.
That's what I mean. That's a crucial one sat right there, isn't it? And then obviously a Portsmouth-Charlton one. Again, Portsmouth could get some points there if they pull it out of the bag. And then your favourite, Millwall-Bristol City.
That's going to be interesting because of how the game at Ashton Gate finished, with them having a little punch-up.
Yeah.
So we will we'll see how. I mean, it'll probably be absolutely nothing. It'll all shake hands and apologise. It would be very boring, but we will see. We will see.
Interesting.
It is the most interesting league in this country, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is easily, massively market. I agree.
And
I
am biased because one of the relegated teams is Leicester, who, I spend every day praying that they fall into the sea. But it is refreshing to see it not be the promoted teams hogging the top 3 spots. Yes, you've got Ipswich up there, but Ipswich are having to fight to be up there.
Yeah.
Southampton are trying to make a tear, but they have a little stumble here and there, and Leicester are having an absolute nightmare. They've got this potential points deduction hanging over their heads. God knows when that's ever going to come out on top. Meant to be January from last time I checked.
We'll find out. I think we're more likely to find out about Man City's 115 charges before that, mate.
Yeah, agreed.
Time on that one, aren't they?
Yeah.
Interesting. It is one of the better leagues, if not the better league of the EFL at the minute. Interesting because of the tightness in points. Could go any way. Feel that Coventry, for Coventry to lose it now, is going to be just unheard. I think Coventry have pretty much nailed it now.
It will
take foot off the gas, obviously, but
as I said when he was hired, this was Lampard's last chance.
Agreed.
And if he got it wrong with us, he was, Rooney's even said himself, Rooney is now a retired manager because he realised that he's not very good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Plymouth, Birmingham, Derby, you name it. He's But with this was his last chance. If getting us from 17th to the playoffs within one header of getting to a penalty shootout, fantastic. Didn't see it coming. If he takes us up, even if we come second, fantastic, because none of us thought we were going to finish top 2. We were all thinking we have to get playoffs. So if he even finishes in playoffs now, questions are going to be asked. If he gets us up, fine, you can forgive him. But if he doesn't, he's in trouble.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
I think in his mind's eye, I think he's aware of that, and I think he's going to do everything he can to make sure he stays where he is and gets you guys up.
Fingers crossed.
How long do you give him next season though in the Prem?
I give him the full season because I don't see the benefit in sacking your manager every 12 months. And we have been spoiled as Coventry fans because we had Robbins for so long. At least give him the chance. If we are bottom at Christmas with 0 points, my attitude might have changed somewhat. But I think you have to trust him that he is going to be given the resources he needs, sign the players that he wants, and see how it goes. If we get spanked 5-0 every week, okay, maybe you've got to ask questions. But I don't think we will at this point. I've said, when we go up, which I've been saying for the last couple of seasons, I've thought we will go up eventually. When we go up, I'll be happy with finishing 17th, stand up on goal difference for the next 5 years. That would do me after all the crap in League One, dreadful owners, League Two for the season, conceding 6 at home to Forest Green, Yeovil, losing to Forest Green twice. Yeah, I'll take that. 17th.
And for your sake, Mark, if you're still part of the KB Terrace Talk group, you'll get promoted to the Thursday chat.
Woo!
Yeah, you'll get.
I think it'll probably be on loan for a season to begin with. I've got this. I don't know how I'd feel about this if we end up being a Burnley, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Because, God, it's boring as a neutral. Yeah. Is it any good as somebody who's got a vested interest? I don't know. I'd say could we have a Burnley fan? Let us know, but there aren't any Burnley fans in existence. So
no.
They already don't.
I don't even think the starting squad are Burnley fans, but you know.
No, they're there. They're there very reluctantly, I would say.
Yeah. Arms behind their backs and all that lot. Okay, let's move on because time is pushing on. Let us move on to League One. Now, Tom, the next screen I'm going to show, mate, won't have much significance to you. I know you're a League One fan, but we're going to look at the top half of the league first. I hope you don't mind on that one, mate. No, don't spit me out too much on this.
You're
one,
right,
yeah?
mate.
So, looking at League One, the top half looks as follows. Cardiff sitting on 44 points at the top of the table, closely followed 3 points behind by Lincoln City, and Bradford 1 point behind them in third place. Then you've got a smattering of other teams in 4th, 5th and 6th of Bolton, Stevenage and Stockport. Huddersfield and Luton making up 8th place there. 9th is Barnsley. Barnsley in 9th. Wickham 10th. Reading 11th. And Leyton Orient, who, I upset their fans a little bit, sitting mid-table in 12th. I might get around to apologising to them at some point. Let's wait for the end of the season, shall we, before we delve too deep into that one. So, Tom, as you are the resident League One pundit, as you are the resident Rotherham United fan, who looking like they're heading for League Two this coming summer, what do you think to that top half of the table, mate?
Shite! Oh, shit. Shite!
You heard that here on the megaphone.
Jesus Christ. Right, hang on.
I'm waiting just before Tom gets himself sorted. I am waiting for the bombardment of League One fans coming on, putting their comments on whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or X. Stick your comments in. Give us a shout. Let us know your views and points on League One. But Tom, come on, tell us, mate. What's that top half look like to you?
It looks like a top half of League One for oh god, I can't even defend it. It's awful. Cardiff, yeah, fair enough. That's in Wales. Shit place.
Here we go again. He's going again. Wales is a lovely part of the world. Leave it alone.
No, it's not. It's awful. It's a principality, isn't it? You know what I mean? Hence why their stadium's called that. Lincoln, shite
to the whole nation now.
Bradford, whatever.
No, Bradford slander, please.
Apologies, Mark. I know you have affiliations with Bradford.
Yes, I do. I've got a Bradford scarf in the other room.
Indeed. Okay. So Bolton, tough shit. Stadium, crap. Stevenage. Look, right. Anyway, jokes aside. Look, yeah. I mean, look, you've got Huddersfield, Luton, Barnsley, Reading, Bolton, Bradford, Cardiff. All ex-Premier League teams, incredibly. But it is utter garbage. And my team are even more garbage, which is terrible.
Get onto your team very, very shortly.
But you know what? Fair play to the likes of Bolton and Stevenage. Not so much Cardiff because it's fucking Wales, isn't it? But I mean, like
most people would have expected Cardiff to go straight back up anyway, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I agree with you on that one, Mark. Cardiff, they came down. Unfortunately, I think everybody assumed they'd go back up. I think I made my early predictions Cardiff going up. I also said Bolton going up. I can't remember who my third one was. May have said no. I think I said Bolton. Sorry. It may have been Reading for some reason. I may have said Reading, but I know I definitely did say Cardiff and Bolton. Bradford doing well, Got to be nice to Bradford. They're one of my biggest customers. A big company up that way. One of my biggest customers. Nice to them. And I've got to be very nice to Huddersfield because straight after New Year, I'm spending a couple of weeks up that way. Not necessarily Huddersfield, but the hotel I'm stopping in is just on the outskirts of Huddersfield. So I've got to be nice for them. Otherwise,
what are you doing there, Phil?
I'm working at a college, actually in Calderdale, but there's not much going off in Calderdale. So I found one of the branded hotels that we have a company account with, and the nearest one I got was North Huddersfield, basically. So yeah, I'm spending.
It's an awful place. It's a bad place.
I don't think I'm stopping in the central of Huddersfield. I think it's more on the outskirts, closer to the M62 than.
It's the most Alan Partridge thing I've heard tonight. But anyway,
he's trying to veer it back to football. There's Tom likes to call this league a pub league, which God knows
which it is.
I look at those teams in and around, the playoffs. Any of these teams coming up, I just think, well, you're going straight back down. There's nobody there that I could, in my wildest dreams, think, yeah, you could do an Ipswich, you could do 2 promotions on the spin. Why not? I'd love to see Bradford do well. I have a soft spot for them, having lived there for 3 years, but it's never going to happen. Lincoln, no. Last time they were in the Championship, they were struggling. I can't remember since they got relegated from the Premier League a time when Bolton actively challenged for promotion back to the Premier League. So yeah, Stevenage, Stockport, just none of them are going to challenge. Not even.
No. I mean, the only one there. There's essentially two there in my eyes. Having seen all of these guys' stadiums and all of these guys' facilities, and I've been to pretty much most in that top 12 there. Not been to Leyton Orient, but I've been to pretty much most of those team clubs there. And for me, looking at Premier League sides and the kind of ethos of where anyone could sit, any of those could sit in the Premier League, I'm struggling with anybody apart from Cardiff and Bolton, really. I can't really see where the rest sit. Not just stadium, but, the whole ethos of the club.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going on facilities and stadium, then it would be Cardiff, Bolton, and then probably Reading with a relatively modern stadium. I mean, I don't know. It just seems a little bit like League Two now. League One. There doesn't seem to be any real. This lot are going to run away with it like Birmingham did last season.
Yeah.
There's no massive clubs where you sort of take a double take and go, "What are you doing here? Are you lost?" It's very even, and you could pick a random team and say, "Right, they're going up," and you sort of go, "Yeah, all right then." That's how it is in League One now.
Barnsley, though, come on, Barnsley, really?
I mean, if Barnsley have had several seasons in the Championship, they got to the playoff final a couple of years ago, and they lost out.
You've seen their Tin Can Stadium, though. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a dump. It's an old traditional English dump.
Have you seen their squad?
Not recently, but I don't want to depress myself.
Have you seen their fans? Sorry, I'm just laying into Barnsley at the minute, but come on. What's Barnsley doing up there?
But it's my point. None of these teams are going to put up trees. So, yeah, if you tell me that Barnsley are going to win the playoffs in May, yeah, all right, fine. They're going to get straight back down again the following season. It will be Wolves' in the Premier League this season, how bad they will be, as with most of these teams.
Can you see Wolves in 2 seasons playing some of these teams?
If they're not careful, yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Because all it takes is you get relegated this season and then you get the recruitment wrong. And when Carlisle went up to League One in 2023, and I was chatting with one of the lads at work who's a Carlisle fan, I said, you need your recruitment right, otherwise you go straight down. It's very even in League One towards the bottom end. Lo and behold, they signed a load of old crap. I think they finished bottom in League One, and then they finished bottom of League Two the following season as well. Because
look at Luton. I mean, Luton in the Prem, they dropped straight down into the Championship. They dropped straight down again into League One, and they're not even fighting. Okay, they're sat 8th, and the fair play to them, and so on and so forth. But they're not even fighting to get back up. And 2 seasons ago, they sat in the Premier League, and they're now in 8th position.
But are there any of those players left that got them into the Premier League? I mean, if you looked at when Luton beat us in the playoff final, if you looked at those 2 squads side by side, you'd have given neither team any chance of staying up. We had the more saleable assets in terms of Gyökeres and Hamer, but they wouldn't have kept us up. We'd have given it a fight, but we'd have come straight back down. Same, and Luton, that's exactly what Luton did. Tried to get players in that weren't, and they gave it a good fight. Fair play to them. But then I think there was an air of arrogance to them in the Championship where there's like, oh, that's fine. We'll be okay. We'll get ourselves back in the playoffs. We'll get back up. It'll be no problem at all. And now it's, we actually have been relegated. And actually, now we need to put a bit of effort in. They've already sacked one manager. They've now got Jack Wilshere in. Jury's out. He's been a manager for all of 20 minutes. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to go. Plenty of time to go for somebody to make a run. There's all, tends to be in every division. Some team comes from nowhere. Who knows? It could be Leyton Orient. It could be Wickham.
I tell you what, if it ends up being Leyton Orient, I've got to take my hat off and I've got to do some proper apologies to the Leyton Orient fans. Yeah. I really have.
Shall we look at the bottom half then?
Bottom half.
Oh, it could be Rotherham United.
No, Tom.
Look at that down at the bottom there. Bloody hell, you're far down there. Look at who you're mixing with. You're mixing with the former Rooney team of Plymouth. You've got Exeter, who, you've got to travel about 10 years to get to them. It's like Back to the Future when you go down there. You've got Doncaster, bloody hell. They all live in caravans there. And Port Vale, bloody hell, mate. Wow. How does it feel to be mixing with that? And then only just a little bit above you, 2 points above you, you've got Blackpool. And then you got Wigan. Jesus Christ, mate. You're amongst the dross down there, Tom.
I just want to, apart from your abuse of my football club there, Phil, I would like to add that Darren Moore has been relieved of his duties as the Port Vale manager, as they are sat 24th and on 15 points.
When did that happen?
I think today, Darren Moore got sacked. I might be wrong, unless I've dreamt it. But what I will say about Darren Moore is the job going at Rotherham, mate, will take you.
Yes, that is true. They're part of company with the first team manager, Darren Moore. That happened. They released the statement 4 hours ago. Yeah.
I will take Darren Moore right now. And that is the manager of Port Vale, who are in 24th. Sorry, ex-manager. Look at the state of that. Peterborough, Wimbledon, Burton, Northampton, Mansfield, Wigan. Look, they dropped a nuclear bomb on those places. About 10 quid's worth of damage. So I'll tell you something right now. Plymouth, I am surprised about Plymouth. I thought Plymouth would be a lot higher up. Is it Cleverly in charge of them?
Well, they've got a better performance. They've got a better 5 performances than you, mate.
Yeah, but look, we've got a draw and 4 losses.
Yeah, Plymouth have got 3 wins and 2 losses.
Bloody awful. I don't know what's going on with my club. And look, we explained it on, what was it, Miller's Friday, we had this week.
Doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Yeah, you did Boxing Day, didn't you? Which was Friday. Yeah.
Miller's Friday, which was a new low for the club. And
listen. I tell you what. With everything that's going off with KB Terrace talk and everything that's going off with the newfound fame and the newfound attributes of King Bush, and the fact that he's getting so much attention. I think King Bush is probably getting more attention than Matt Hamshaw at the minute. I think it's literally getting to that stage. I think the club need to have a word with Bushy, you know. I think the club need to do something with Bushy because the club's slowly trickling away. Yes, Matt Hamshaw's got a lot to do with it. It's just Matt from Rotherham. Yes, his managerial skills are far from adequate. Yes, I completely agree that Tony Stewart is probably not the right man for the job neither. But you're halfway through a season, sat in 21st, surrounded by the same sort of clubs that are just not performing. Do you do what Port Vale have done and just go, right, no, that's enough now. I've had enough now. Off you pop.
Before you answer, Tom, can I ask a quick question? So obviously we know that you don't like Hamshaw, and my knowledge of Rotherham comes from mainly you and the bits I see on KB Terrace Talk Twitter's page. How long has Tony Stewart been in charge of the club for now, roughly?
Chairman, oh God, what were we in 2025? What was we 15 years?
15 years.
Aye.
You've been in League Two, League One, and the Championship in that time. Why now is he no longer the man for the job? What's changed other than having a poor season this year? What's changed for you and Bushy to want him out?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, Mark, right? Obviously, we did the thing where we used to play in Sheffield at Don Valley Stadium, which was an athletics place. I think they had the Commonwealth Games or the under-21 games at some point, because we got kicked out of our ground at Millmore, which is in Rotherham. So we had to move to Sheffield. Tony Stewart acquired the club and then secured funding. That's the key word, funding, to build Rotherham United a new stadium. The New York Stadium. Have you been there, Mark? I think you have.
I've been there a couple of times. I've seen us get hammered, and I've seen us hammer you. So
exactly. So we went there. Obviously, we did back-to-back. Steve Evans, League Two, League One, Championship. Couple of years in there. Warnock saved us that year. Then we started to do the yo-yo thing, didn't we? We had Paul Warne, up, down, blah, blah, blah. Which was great. And we were, I think, is it Kieran Maguire, who was the football finance expert, said that we're one of the best run clubs in the country, which is fine. Yes, you can be one of the best run clubs in the country, but what is your goal? Do you need to go to the next level or not? A lot of the fan base are quite happy, and this is where the whole happy clapper narrative comes from our channel, Lee. Happy that we just survive, but now we've fallen further down than we ever have done in that sense.
Okay.
And there's questions to be asked. And there's a lot of former players, Mark, that are coming out saying that the infrastructure of the club, the training facilities, everything else is absolutely non-league standard. So that's why there's a bit of a fallout now, basically.
I find, as a complete outsider, I find that really surprising, given that, yes, you have yo-yoed between Championship and League One. There is a bit of money in the Championship, and I'm curious as if the facilities outside of the ground is lovely, just, nothing wrong with it in the slightest.
Yeah.
But I find it bizarre that you take the money that you earn from the Championship, which isn't billions, but enough, and you've not tightened up the facility and made that better. Because I associate Rotherham with being bottom end Championship, top end League One.
Yeah,
And it's see you going back to League Two, where 2012 was the last time you were in League Two.
Yes, that'll be correct. That'll be correct.
So it's an interesting comment just come in and just kind of backing up what you're saying there, Mark. Scott Kent 324 has said Tony Stewart just simply won't invest. He's lost all interest in the club, and he's even said it himself that he's fallen out of love with it. So,
which is absolutely fine, because I can imagine that running a football club, particularly if it's your club, is Tony Stewart from Rotherham? Is he a local?
Sheffield. He's from Sheffield.
Okay, but he's from the area, so
he's from the area, Mark.
Okay, so if he has fallen out of love with it and he's admitted that, why isn't he looking to sell up? Give it to somebody who is going to take it forward. If he can't or won't, just leave, because I can't imagine he wants to see you go back into League Two, flirt with non-league, or worst comes to worst, go bust. So, why isn't he looking to just get rid, find someone else to take over?
Well, that's the big mantra, Mark, isn't it? Everyone's saying that he will leave us back in League Two where he found us.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, listen, I mean, a lot of loyal Rotherham United fans will say that we thank him for what he's done, but what he's doing right now is ruining his legacy. Because I mean, the fella's he's in his 80s. He lost his wife. I get it, but it's just I don't know. We're Rotherham United, right, are in a really bad place right now, and I can't see it getting any better until the club changes hands, personally.
interesting. I'm just doing a little bit of research. So, Rotherham United, how much are they worth as a club?
79 pence.
So it said well, that's back in 2018, so that's not really statistically right. I'm just wondering. I'm just actually wondering what it's actually worth, and what is not necessarily what it's worth, but what its cost would be.
Its worth is what somebody is willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
Realistically, what did it say it was worth in 2018, roughly?
180 million.
What? Fuck off.
We weren't bought up. We weren't bought for over 100 million. I can assure you.
So hold on. So 2023, Rotherham United Football Club has an estimated revenue of 21 million. That's what it was saying. But it's working at It was working at an operating loss of 1.7 million.
Which again, I think is admirable, because listen, we're in the particular part of South Yorkshire that we live in. Sorry, where I'm from. You've got Sheffield United, Sheff Wednesday, two huge clubs. Growing up in Rotherham, everybody supported either Sheffield United or Sheff Wednesday and Man United or whatever. Or Leeds United, I might add. Rotherham United were like the team that losers supported, aka me, right? So I mean, it's not ideal, and I'll tell you what, our fans are slightly odd. They will. You know that meme where there's that dog? Well, there's like fire around it.
Yeah.
I
know.
It's fine. That's what we're in at the minute, personally.
So a lot of the Rotherham fans are on tonight listening in. It'll be 5 losses when we get bummed at Blackpool tomorrow night. So, yeah, almost determined that you're getting absolutely battered at
bummed by a donkey.
Are you at home or away?
Away.
Away. At least it's a nice trip to get some fish and chips, isn't it? And then Romo F7343. Until Tony goes, we are F word. So yeah, it sounds like a few of the Rotherham fans that are watching this show, not necessarily these people that you're calling or Bushy calls the happy clappers, but the ones that are watching this show are very much along the ethos of financially, it's worth Tony Stewart handing the reins over, and managerial and play-wise, it's definitely should be on the cards that Matt Hamshaw should be also vacating at the same time.
So realistically, if Hamshaw were to resign, be sacked, whatever you want to say, who do you realistically want to come in? You lose to Blackpool tomorrow, that's 5 losses on the spin, and he goes. Who is going to come in? Who's up for the challenge of first saving the club from relegation and trying to build for next season? Who'd you go for?
There's only one answer to that, Mark.
There we go.
I love Steve Evans. He's at Bristol Rovers.
There's one answer.
Can't have Lee Bush because he's got no managerial expertise.
And also, of course, I don't think people like him at the moment, given what Twitter, like he would put the statement out.
I think it's more down to the people that he's friends with. All I'm seeing is a load of people thinking that Bush is a racist, and he's not. Anyway, moving on. Tom.
The one answer is Sir Neil Warnock. Carpet Warnock.
He's not coming. He's not. Neil Warnock is 74, 5.
He's 77.
I took a couple of years off because I'm not. I love Neil Warnock. I think he's brilliant. But does he want a League One relegation battle? No.
Listen. Is another fucking Yorkshireman. Is another guy from Sheffield. Yeah.
Played for the club.
Right. All I'm saying is, okay. Think about Sean Dyche. I'm going to go back to it. Think about Sean Dyche. Now think about Neil Warnock. You've got two similar. I'm looking at those two and going, they're very similar in what they're capable of doing and what they can do for clubs. I'm with you. I'm with you, Tom. I'm with you all the way. Neil Warnock. Yeah.
If they said Warnock came in, then 100% he would save the club. They wouldn't go down, and if he fancied it on for next season, I think he'd do a grand job. The point I'm trying to make is I don't think Warnock wants to do it anymore. He's 77. Let him do whatever 77-year-olds do. I don't actually know.
He's not a manager at the minute, is he?
No,
he's not a manager at the minute. He's an advisor at the minute, isn't he? Is it Torquay? Is that also?
Torquay, yeah, Torquay. I was slightly joking. I would obviously Rowett, who just got sacked from Oxford. I would also have a word with David Artell. I'd also try and tempt Alex Ravel at Stevenage. But in the interim, I think that Neil Warnock came in tomorrow, he would get us promoted this season. Just my opinion.
It would be one hell of an achievement. And again, if you take the season from now until May, when it finishes, funnily enough, if he got promoted, manager of the season. But I can't see it happening. Who knows? You might surprise yourself and not get battered off Blackpool. You might win because
we're losing, Mark. It's done.
Well, Blackpool are only 2 points ahead of you. Yes, they have, 3 wins out of 5, 10 points out of 15. So, but you just never know.
So in the comments tonight, we've got a couple of other comments in tonight. We've got Matt Bloomfield. So I'd go for Matt Bloomfield. He's where's he at? He's at Felixstowe, isn't he?
Bloomfield was sacked by Luton, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at Wickham, Luton, Sacked, yeah.
Yeah. But it'll probably be Paul Hurst. Is he a former player or something?
He's
Yes,
definitely
club legend.
Club legend. Yeah. And then you've got Rom of 7343, the bloke at Grimsby. Who's
Dave Artell. Dave Artell.
Yeah,
Dave
okay.
Artell.
So he's kind of agreeing with you on that one as well. Dave Artell. Interesting. Well, listen, we've got to see where the rest of the season goes. I think for Rotherham, I think it's on the cards. From what it seems to me, needs to be big changes at the club for it to happen. It's not going to be an overnight thing. So kind of sat halfway through the season and you want to make these massive choices all of a sudden. Is it too little too late? Remains to be seen, I think. But looking at that, I mean, what you got Blackpool tomorrow, and then you got Peterborough. So, good luck with them ones. Blackpool on a bit of a bounce, 2 wins draw, and another win, and then Peterborough 4 wins on the bounce, whereas you're sat there with 4 losses on the bounce. So, tough couple of games coming up, Tom. That one. Who knows? More will be spoken about, no doubt. Are you on Miller's Monday this week? Is you doing a Monday show?
Well, no, we're playing Monday night, aren't we? So
you're not going to do the Monday show. So more will be revealed, no doubt, later on this week.
Tuesday instead.
Miller's Tuesday probably will be.
Bush is very vocal on X and on TikTok and on Instagram and whatnot. So no doubt there will be some shorts going out very, very soon after tomorrow's loss. I mean, after you go into Blackpool and absolutely spanking them, and then all will be forgiven again and you'll be back to normal again. So, yeah, we shall see. Okay, let's drop onto League Two. Another Sunday League team, as Tom likes to put it. That is the top half of League Two. Walsall sitting pretty at the top there. On 43 points, with Bromley just behind on 42. Bromley just behind on 42. Sorry, I'm looking at some of these names and I'm going, I've been to some of these places and I'm just going, what the hell? Where are they getting their players from? Jesus Christ. Bromley 42 points, Swindon on 40 points, Milton Keynes 39 points. Salford 39, Notts County 38. I mean, I like Notts County. I've got a lot of time for them. Chesterfield again, sat in 7th. Cambridge, Fleetwood, Colchester Crew, Gillingham. What is going off? Bromley 2nd, Tom. Bromley 2nd.
Bromley, 3-year-old striker who's been with them for non-league. It's incredible.
Where did it? I don't know. I don't know where they get the players from. Best thing about Bromley is the fact that it's not far from M25, I suppose.
I mean, where the fuck
relatively easy
Bromley?
To get to. Say again, Tom.
Where the fuck is Bromley?
It's it's southeast London.
How are they there?
So it's about 30 minutes from I'd say about 40 minutes from the Queen Elizabeth Bridge, the one that goes over at Dartford Crossing, that one there. It's about 40 minutes from there.
That's what we're dealing with, Phil. You look at that. Walsall, awful place.
It is
Bromley,
an awful place.
Bromley, you're on about some sort of bridge. Right, Swindon.
I mean, it's a pretty big bridge and it does go over the Thames, mate. And it takes thousands of cars every day. So it's a pretty big bridge.
You can't slag off Bromley if you've never been there, mate.
I've spent in my life, I've probably spent about 3 months down there. And yeah, it's the Wetherspoons is quite nice and they're trying to do it all up, but it's just a bit. Yeah.
I have a hatred of Wetherspoons, having worked there for 4 years. Awful place. Awful place.
Wetherspoons ain't too bad there. It's quite nice. The toilets aren't a mile away, which is quite nice. But
they're up the stairs usually, aren't they?
Yeah, it's at the very back at Bromley, so you just literally go back. Apart from the Wetherspoons near me, which is literally right there, right by the door, where the toilets are. It's about the closest I've been to on a Wetherspoons. But back to the football.
So the Spoons toilets were up the stairs.
What, at Bromley?
Aye.
No, the ones at Bromley are at the very back of the pub.
Are they not up the stairs?
No, I think you go up a couple of steps, but no, they're not like upstairs, up another set, and then they're in the back corner. They're literally, you go to the very back of from the front entrance, you go to the very back of the pub through a door, and I think there's one step either just down or just up, and then you've got the toilets right there.
Can we move on to foods? I'm getting flashbacks, and they're not good ones.
Okay. Swindon the Slugs, Milton Keynes is
a horrible franchise club that shouldn't exist.
Magic Roundabouts.
Yeah,
agreed. But I, as I will always say, Keynes will go up automatically.
Yeah.
Salford, Jesus Christ, class of '92, classless.
They're not there anymore.
Okay.
It's just, I think it's just Gary Neville.
Gary Neville now, isn't it? Yeah, it's just Gary Neville.
It's the G Neville.
Holding on for dear life, bless him.
It's a bit surprised they've not got out of League Two yet. I would have thought by now they'd have at least had 2 seasons in League One, but no, they're still lumbering away.
I mean, I look at that. Look at that, and I think, do you know what? A lot of these clubs are bigger than the ones in League One.
I mean, you look at Notts County and Chesterfield; they're the two that jump out to me, and that's probably me being biased in terms of the localist to me. But I'm looking in that top half, and they're probably the biggest 2 clubs up there, apart from Milton Keynes.
I mean, Ches here on a 3-game winning run, by the looks of that. Gillingham are falling away. Fleetwood, doing all right. Walsall fell away last season. The big surprise to me is Bromley. Bromley. Imagine Bromley in League One.
Bromley, yeah.
That is mental. Have you got a second half of the table, Phil?
Yeah, absolutely. There's your second half, mate. I mean, Tranmere are all the way down there. I mean, they're another side that you'd think, well, they should be a bit higher than where they're currently sat.
But the only thing I would say with Tranmere is they have had a spell fairly recently in non-league, haven't they? So
yeah.
It's not. I mean, again, it looks like who were the 2 that came up? Oldham and Barnet. Again, that run of no promoted team getting immediately relegated again. That looks like it's going to continue because Newport look dread. Actually, do you know what? That bottom 6
look awful, don't they?
Drift. Fairly cut adrift. Although I'm sure that if Bristol Rovers under Steve Evans can stage a comeback, I'm sure that would please Tom somewhat because he likes Steve Evans.
Bristol Rovers will be fine. They've got Big Steve. Sorry, Skinny Steve in charge now.
I saw the press release of him getting announced as manager, and I was like,
Manjaro.
There's a second Steve Evans running about. No, it's the same thing. Fair play to him as a man who is trying to sort his own ways out. If he can do it, I've got a bit of faith in myself. Fair play to him.
Think of all the excess skin, though, boys. Think of all the excess skin.
Yeah, but they've got bacon slices for that. It's fine.
I did. You know about Manjaro, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Steve could say he ran up Kilimanjaro and lost the weight. Really shit job.
Do you hear that one, Bushy? That's another one to cut. Kilimanjaro.
But I mean, listen, League Two is League Two. Bristol Rovers won't go down. Evo will do the job. Barrow, as I've told you before, is an awful place. Great Indian though. And the rest of it is nonsense. And Paul Warner will get MK Dons in 3rd. So, yeah.
So could you see Rotherham in this league next season, Tom?
I hope not, but the way things are going, Phil, maybe.
So I've got so today we've got three pundits on the show. We've got one that's sitting pretty up in top of the championship there, sitting pretty much not going to lose. You've got Forest who are fighting against the Ange Postecoglou 007 era, trying their best, probably will survive and be okay. And then we've got Rotherham down at the bottom there, and the bottom of this pile, looking likely to be playing in League Two next season. What a combination we've got going off tonight.
It's a good balance, I think. It's a
absolute great balance. But we've had lots of viewers tonight, and we've had lots of comments coming in tonight. And this is a call for everybody that's watching. There's 82 people currently watching, and there's obviously been more during the show and so on and so forth, but there's 82 people currently watching. If there is any one of you who feel as though that you could input quite well to this show, or any one of our KB Terrace Talk shows, whether it be a Miller's Monday show, where we're looking for new pundits on Miller's Monday, whether it be Premier League pundits for our Thursday show, or you feel you could input on our Fantasy League show on a Friday, or again, you want to have some input on this Sunday show, and you feel as though, you know, we're giving a bad name to the League Two, and you're an Accrington Stanley supporter, and you want to come on our show and be on our show, it's a no obligation thing. You could be on as and when you are available to do so. But we are looking for new pundits. So if you're part of the League Two people that are watching today, please reach out to one of us and let us know if you'd be interested in being on our show and giving your views of your league and your club. But for tonight, we have waffled on for nearly 2 hours tonight, guys, and thank you for giving up your time on a Sunday evening over the Christmas New Year period. So I thank you both very much for that. It's been a cracking show. It's been great. Everybody commenting tonight, thank you. Sorry we've not managed to answer every single one of them, but it's been a fantastic show. Thank you to my two pundits. That's Mark, our Coventry fan, and Tom, our Rotherham United fan. From me, your Forest fan and your host for this evening. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening watching our three ugly mugs, and we will see you all on one of our shows in the new year. Ta-ra for now.